Hello, my fellow YouTubers. It's me, Vicky. I think I have about 6.2 free minutes, and I am dying to get these layouts into albums, and I just don't feel like I can do that without sharing them with you first. I know I've been missing in action again, and I don't have a reason in the world other than life. Not project life, life. I definitely feel like I'm going in and out of a creative funk. Like I'll be real inspired to do a layout. Like I don't know if you guys get like this, but I'll watch a YouTube video and I think, oh gosh, I want a scrapbook too. But then when I go and pull out my stuff, I sit there for an hour and just look at product and the picture. I don't know what to do with anything. But then there's been a couple times in the past month where I feel like I am in the mood, and I just don't really know what's wrong with me. All these new products released at CHA this year, I should be on a scrapbooking rampage, actually. So I don't know. And then, you know, if I scrapbook a page, I just don't have the gumption or gung-ho to pull out the camera and to pull out this whiteboard and to do a video and upload it and edit. I don't know. I think my body's been taken over by a person whose hobby is not scrapbooking. I don't know. But I know this. I sure do miss you guys. Anyway, let's get to it. I want to show these layouts to you. Goodness knows, this layout right here, I started on last July. And, well, I actually started on it and finished it last July. This was the first layout I ever did for the YouTube layout hop that I participate in. And guys, mark your calendars, because Friday the 30th is the next YouTube layout hop. But anyway, and I am going to participate in that. Anyway, this was the first layout I put together for my first time in the hop. Well, I was so nervous. It was my first time in the hop. These ladies, they do some amazing work. I was just so nervous that I ended up doing like 3 layouts before I felt comfortable submitting the one I did. Let's go to the layout. You know, this is done on one of my let's say this. It's one of my top favorite collections. And it's the 100 Days of Summer by Simple Stories. I loved this collection. You know, before I participated in the YouTube layout hop, I really just bought paper stacks. And if it wasn't like K & Company or Die Cuts with a View, I didn't really pay attention to the different manufacturers. What would I do without October Afternoon or Studio Calico or even Simple Stories? Gosh, I got several favorites. Sassafras Lass, how could I leave them out? This was one of the first times I really got online to look up the collections, because I was like, what are these other ladies using? What in the heck is, you know, Studio Calico? And I got online and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And that was actually the beginning of my even worse paper obsession than I had prior to doing the hop. I think I bought Simple Stories 100 Days of Summer, and I think it was a Bo Bunny ad lib I ended up using. Anyway, that was 2 of the first paper collections I ever bought. That was 2,000 papers ago. But anyway, this was one of my favorite collections to this day. This is my grandson and Heather, my son's ex-girlfriend. And listen, I think everything on here is from the collection. I fussy cut this out from another sheet of paper. I think, now these are probably die cuts with a view, cardstock, or basil. I rounded the edges, stuck it all together. This was from a banner in the collection, and there you have it. Real easy layout. Let me zoom in. It says Happy Summer Days. I cut out the top note. That reads, now that's what I call a genuine smile. I love the red and white check or gingham. And I journaled with my white Signo Broad Unigel pen. It says Heather and Nate at Kings Island, June of 2011. I think this is one of my all-time favorite pictures. Nate really loves his Heather, and he really does. I've always hoped that Heather and my son would get back together, but they've been broke up for about 2 years, so I'm thinking it's not going to happen. She still comes around and hangs out, so there's still hope, right? And most of you girls out there know I'm still on the hunt for a wife for my son. Oh, and I used my EK Success doily punch around the edges. Now here's something I never did before on a layout. I combined Copic coloring onto a layout. This is one of the pages, the layouts, that I will put into my grandson's mom's scrapbook album that I'm doing for her. And with Project Life, and we have always taken pictures of just everyday events, but hopefully she will too. The background here is basil, no textured, white cardstock. I picked that up at HSN. You get like 100 sheets for like $19.99, $5 shipping and handling. That's hsn.com. This is basil cardstock. I did this with my gypsy. I just went into Georgian Basic Shapes and I pulled out a rectangle, and then I put other little rectangles inside, and it gives the appearance of a film strip. This is Pure Innocence, and I'm not sure of the stamp's name. And this is also Pure Innocence, the little girl on the swing. Let's see. The paper, pattern paper, is another one of my favorite lines, but it's an oldie. Hometown Summer by Pink Paisley. And the stamp I'm going to zoom in on is Allie Edwards, and it's from the same set. I think the name of the set is Life is Good. Down here along the bottom, you'll see I used my washi tape from prettytape.etsy.com. I cut out the pennants and the socks and the shirt from my Cricut cartridge, which is Country Line, and again, pretty easy to do. I couldn't find a tree I really liked. I wanted something very, very simple, so I used my Cricut to cut out a scalloped circle, and I did this all by myself. I'll zoom in, guys. Well, I should zoom out. You're not going to see detail there, guys, but that'll give you an idea of the whole layout. I struggle. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to focus for it. I'm sorry here. Hopefully that's going to focus so that you can see. I just stamped and double stamped Life is Good, and I would do second and third generation stamps. There we go. I stopped when I got to the pennants. I've just been trying to use my stamps a little bit more. And I'm never quite sure how to incorporate my stamps onto layouts. Stamps and cards are easy, but I feel like sometimes I struggle trying to use my stamps on my layouts. I think this turned out pretty nice. It was an easy layout to do, and it gets the point across. I figure she can put a 4x6 portrait here and horizontals on the sides. Now, I really thought I was quite clever on this layout. Their last name is Woods. So this will be the opening page for her scrapbook album. And once again, this is my grandson's mom's album that I'm doing. I'm in a dead run now. I want to get this done and over with. I've been working on it since before Christmas, and I know she's anxious to have it, and I'm anxious to give it to her. So I've been trying to put a lot of focus on getting this done. And it reads, let me see here. No, no, no. I didn't say there is a house in the woods. I said the woods are in the house. And their last name is Woods. I use the Studio Calico Grove paper, which I thought was just perfect. You can see I used my Lawn Fawn Polaroid stamps. That red twine was just a little something extra a seller sent to me. The clothespins I picked up at like Michael's or Joann's years ago. I just used my Tombow mono adhesive glue, laid it down on the paper, and then put my red twine in between. This font I paper pieced using some of the Miss Caroline Wood Look collection paper, and I used, this is not embossed, it's tuxedo black memento, and I paper pieced it using Quinn alphabet font from Lawn Fawn. It's definitely one of my go-to fonts, and definitely the #1 stamp font that I use. This, I believe, is, oh gosh, it is either the Merry Christmas foam thickers or it is Rain Boots. I forget which, but it is thickers and it's foam. Down here, this is from Pink Paisley, the Summer. I just said the name 2 seconds ago. Good grief. Hometown Summer. This is from the stamp set. This back here is Maya Road Happy Day stamp set. I used this, you see the teal kind of bluish green ink. I won a subby contest here on YouTube from a young lady. I believe her name is Star, and she's at Damn She Bad is her channel name. And she's just the nicest young woman, and I happened to leave a comment and I won her giveaway. And this is G Studio, one of those little ink pads, and it could not have been more perfect for this layout. So Star, if you're watching, thank you so much. I really appreciated the goodies, and it really came in handy. This fence I cut from my Cricut Mini Monsters cartridge, and maybe I just lied, it could be paper dolls. I just put some little silver brads in there. I stamped Shut the Front Door on that more of the same type of paper I used up here from Miss Caroline, and I used my Jenny Bolin ink for that, and I just inked with Ranger ink around the edge. I wanted it to look like a wood plaque stuck on the front on the fence. Shut the Front Door comes from a, gosh guys, I think it is a Unity stamp collection. If you really want to know, private message me and I'll find out. It's easy to do. All I have to do is walk in the other room and pull my stamps out. But I don't recall it offhand. I cut this little apple tree out from Creative Critter cartridge. And it's pretty self-explanatory. The background is just die cuts with a view cardstock. This is Basil cardstock. I ran a little piece of red cardstock at the bottom, kind of grounded it a little bit. And I really ended up liking this. I hope she does. You know, I have been watching everybody is outlining stuff because of Mercy Tierra, who does the most awesome layouts. If you don't subscribe to her or have never watched her videos, go give her a look-see. Her channel name is Mercy, M-E-R-C-Y, Tierra, T-I-A-R-A. She does a great video too. Anyway, she always outlines everything, and I'll tell you what, she does a good layout, so she's a great person to copy after. Let's see if I can zoom out here, guys. Okay, I guess my flip does not want to zoom in and out, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There we go. Now, this is another layout that will go in my son's mom's album I'm doing for her, and I just about everything on here is American Crafts Dear Lizzy, but some things are from Dear Lizzy Neapolitan and some things are from Dear Lizzy Bliss. This is a picture, and I'll zoom out here in a minute, of my ex-daughter-in-law the day she gave me the best present in my whole life ever, and that is my grandson. And I think this is again one of my favorite pictures ever. We had been at the hospital with my grandson's mom for like almost 3 days before she had Nady, and she really had a hard time with labor. And I hate to make this about me, but I swear by the time they finally gave her her epidural, I wanted one. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. Anyway, that poor kid laid there for almost 3 days before she finally hit Nate. Her family and of course my family were there the entire time. We'd leave, go take a shower, go pick up food, you know, but we would come back. Her and my son were not alone at all. And finally, once the baby got here, we all left and gave them their privacy. And this is a picture he grabbed. Isn't that just an amazing picture? I love this. Anyway, now, my grandson, let me sit you down. My grandson, since he was like a year and a half old, first of all, he always was a great talker. He did not do baby talk. Now, he couldn't pronounce everything well, but I'm telling you, by the time this kid was 14 months old, he was singing songs, and he was using words you would not believe. He just always has, very articulate is what I guess I'm trying to say. Since he was probably a year and a half, 2 years old, he has loved Lightning McQueen, Cars. And I guess his mom said to him that the song from the beginning of Lightning, the theme song, that's our song. So when I was doing this layout for them, I thought of a million different things I could have put on the layout as a title, but I just knew what it had to be when I remembered that the Neapolitan collection had the paper with the music on it. I thought it has to be their song. So, there's the setup. Oh, and there goes my husband's air compressor. Just ignore that, guys. As you'll see, the background is Dear Lizzy, the edges, Dear Lizzy. I think the only thing on here that is not Dear Lizzy, yep, is the clouds, and that's Studio Calico. The balloons I cut out. Oh, the font over here is Jenny Bolin Rub-Ons. And then see the little pink font down below that says Rascal Flats? That's some of those little like 6x4-inch sheets of alpha stickers that you can find at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. But I wanted to outline it because when I put it on there in the pink, I didn't want it to show up, but it was not showing up at all. So I traced around with my brown Memory Maker marker from American Crafts. The little hearts are from the Dear Lizzy Bliss collection. And then you'll see I typed out there, I'll be there when the light comes in, just tell them we're survivors. And that's words from the song. And I used Microsoft Word Art to make it scroll. This little sticker here says, at this very moment, everything feels right. And I used the brand is from Dear Lizzy. Sorry for the glare, guys. I used my Adobe Photoshop to make her collar and his hat a little bit greener than they really were. August 2006. That's the Jenny Bolin Rub-On stickers. If you have any questions, guys, or want to know how I did something, PM me. Okay, guys, I have more layouts to share, so I think I'll end this video, and if you want, come back and see what else I've been doing. Thanks so much for watching. You guys mean the world to me, and I so appreciate your comments and support. See you soon.